Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to You Don't Even Like This Show, a podcast about news, politics, current events, pop culture, how Jeff is a bad person.
No, that's not
Things
part
like
of it.
that.
That's not part of it.
That-
We agreed not.
No.
I didn't agree to that.
I think we did agree to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me and Olivia definitely agreed.
I'll check the contract, but
Check it and get back to me. Have your people get in touch. Hey, everybody, I'm Adam Todd Brown.
boo.
Oh wow, I'm the host of this podcast. Joining me as co-host, Jeff just booed me. That's a rough start. I'm going to be honest.
What?
It's not my favorite start to a podcast.
What? Getting
Call me
booed?
Ric Flair because I'm full of booze. Haha.
Yes, exactly. Getting booed. Yeah. Not completely how I expected this show to start, but
Sure.
not that unlikely. Also, hey, also joining us, my Conspiracy the Show co-host, Olivia Haidar, is here.
Hi, hello.
Olivia, how's it going? Thank you for not booing me when
It's
the
going
episode
great.
started.
Fucking
It's
amateur.
okay. I feel like if I booed after you said my name, it would just sound like I'm booing myself.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So
That makes sense.
you
Well, I guess thanks for not joining Jeff as he booed me.
know,
And I
It's
don't
okay.
thank you for that. I unthank you for that.
and that's fine too. You know, I accept that.
It was some real nonsense. This is
Real big fish here.
This is the first episode of this show, but again, it's just a rebrand, baby. It's still,
It's the first asterisk episode of the show.
yeah, basically. And we're not shaking up the format too much. Not to say that the way this episode today will unroll is the way every episode's going to go. This isn't necessarily indicative of the subject matter of every show. It's not just going to be a politics podcast, but hey, let's start by talking about politics because we have an election right around the corner.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're just breathing. It's breathing down our necks.
I thought we won in 2020 and that's it.
Yeah, I mean,
Thought
we
we're
don't.
good.
None of us have to vote in 2024
Oh, good.
because our side won in 2020, and
Yeah.
of
It's like
course,
defending the title. If Biden hits somebody with a steel chair and loses by DQ, he keeps the title.
right, exactly. But we do have a presidential election coming up. I'm obviously joking when I say it's right around the corner, but it's started. People have definitely started announcing their runs for president.
Just
So-
a real mishmash of Hanna-Barbera characters signing
Yeah.
up for this shit.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're talking
Wacky racists.
We're talking about the 2024 Republican presidential candidates because there aren't really any Democratic candidates besides Joe Biden.
We already got Golden Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who else do we need?
Yeah.
I hope Corn Pop runs against Joe Biden as a
Ooh.
Democrat. Hits him.
Kamala Harris, corn pop ticket.
Hell yeah. But so we're just talking about Republicans, and we're not talking about all of them because a lot of people are either already running or have suggested they might run. We're just talking about some of the more concerning candidates who aren't Donald Trump or Ron DeSantis. If we have time at the end, maybe we'll talk about Trump and DeSantis a little bit, but do we need to?
No.
Probably not.
Yeah, we
Uh,
did.
We have these ghouls that we get to talk about.
Yeah, like everybody knows what Trump's deal is, and Ron DeSantis will never be president. So we don't really need to talk about them that much.
I don't know that Ron DeSantis will never be president, but I mean, as things stand, right, go watch the documentary about John Kerry running for president. At this point in the 2004 election, people were like, John Kerry is not getting the nomination. And not only did he get the nomination, he probably won in 2004, if not for some assorted malfeasance in Ohio. So I know it's popular right now to say, oh, DeSantis has no chance, but it's early.
It could kill Disney.
Give it time.
Yeah, definitely.
Kill
He's
Disney,
got the
get all
legal
their
team
money,
to kill Disney.
Yeah. But so yeah, maybe we'll talk about them later on. Maybe we won't. They're definitely the two candidates that everyone is emulating.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, no one's emulating Trump, really. Like, there are people who aren't criticizing Trump openly, but there's no one running for president who's like, no, I'm the real Donald Trump.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like Tom Green, when like there were people that were like getting kind of close to that style, but nobody was actually going for that style of comedy when he came out. They were like, well, I can't do that, obviously.
Yeah, I think by this point, most people realize that they can't just straight up try to be Trump. There's something too alchemic about it. Like, there's just a weird magic.
Chaos magic.
Yeah, exactly. This weird magic to his appeal to people that I think even the most like guileless fucking Republican nominees know that they can't emulate that.
Yeah. And I think it's
military helicopters going over my house, by the way. They must have heard us talking.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because if anything's going to undo the Republican establishment in 2K24, it's this episode of the podcast right now. And so, yeah, we are talking about candidates today of varying degrees of crazy, varying degrees of delusional. There are some people whose names are going to come up who really don't, I think, have any chance of winning, but they're just running for some reason.
Yeah.
I would argue
the reason is to become a pundit later.
Probably.
I think so. At least in the case of this first name, I feel like these first two we're going to talk about fall under the category of running for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
And the first is Mike Pence, baby. Which is weird because he's like the highest profile name who's announced so far.
I love it how he's just like, man, I think those guys that tried to hang me in the Capitol, they probably want me. Probably want to vote for me, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, of all the people on this list, he's the only one that the MAGA establishment literally went to the Capitol with the intention of hanging him on the front lawn.
Which is, we can all agree, funny.
Yeah, very.
Like,
a little bit.
Like, it's very funny. And I know that we're like, it's a little funny. No, it's like the funniest.
No, it's very funny.
If you look at like the funniest things that have happened in America since the millennium, that is like in the absolute top.
Yeah. The funny thing about My Pants is that he has never had the juice, ever. Like, he just does not have national juice whatsoever. He was put on the Trump ticket for that reason, as like ice to cool down. You need a
simple piece of white bread with your barbecue. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, he just doesn't have it, and it's crazy that he doesn't realize this. But, you know, he's a delusional man. So
he's held the second highest office in the country.
Yeah.
Like, that's gonna fill you up a little bit, you know?
I guess.
Well, I think he was also there to appeal to evangelicals who got behind Trump really hard when he was campaigning. And that was also Mike Pence's appeal, is that it would bring in those voters. But I don't know that evangelicals even matter as much as they used to. It's turned into a different thing.
Well, that's the thing, is it's just evolved to its next form. Like, all of these people who are your rabid right-wing chuds, they, you know, are following, even if they don't explicitly agree with evangelical ideology or whatever, they're following that playbook. That it's just an evolution of that.
There's real enemy of my enemy energy to that union of the Republican Party, which is they're like, well, I hate gay people because they make me feel uncomfortable. The other people are like, well, I hate them because I think they're going to hell, because that was never actually brought up.
Right.
They're like, hell yeah. It's the real Predator meme where they're grabbing arms.
Yeah. And like Mike Pence, he strikes me as someone that almost no one is going to be passionate about.
Yeah.
Like
How could you be?
Yeah, you either hate Mike Pence or you have no feelings about Mike Pence. But I don't think anyone loves Mike Pence except like Jesus.
He's vanilla ice cream.
I mean,
he's not who you're not going like, I can't wait to get to Dairy Queen so I can get some vanilla ice cream. So you're like, look, man, in a pinch, I'll take what I'll take. But really, we need to dress this up a little bit. Speaking of dressing up in Mike Pence, did you folks see the biker photos?
Oh, yeah, I did see.
Oh, I did not, but that sounds like something I want to Google right now.
You need to look those up.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
And my favorite thing somebody said about it, and I forget who it was, but they wrote, if you can read this, mother fell off.
Oh, yeah, look at that dork. Ugh.
It's the saddest.
Remember when he was trying to be like folksy and it made it sound like he fucked horses?
Me and this beautiful,
he's like,
muscular horse.
I believe his phrase was, there's nothing better for the inside of a man than the outside of a horse.
Has he not seen the documentary about the guy who fucked a horse and
he's
perforated
in the Mr.
his colon?
Hands video. He's in it.
There's a documentary about the Mr.
There's
Hands
a Mr.
video.
Hands documentary.
Yeah, there sure is.
Weird.
I want to say it's called Zoo or something like that.
Like the CBS TV show Zoo?
I think that's a spinoff of the Mr. Hands video.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, CBS's
All
Zoo.
the animals are attacking humans, and then they're fucking us.
Also a type of attack, yeah.
Yeah, Mike Pence is never going to be president.
He's a paper doll.
I suspect if he ever got elected, he would literally be eaten in the streets.
His best shot at becoming president was if someone assassinated Trump while he was in office.
But look, 100%.
Yeah.
That is or that Trump got kicked out of office.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah,
I think
Trump.
the
If Trump
is more likely than that,
if Trump left office under some means,
in some way,
right. My concern is that as this carries on, like, I know people are super confident Trump is going to like win for some reason. I'm not quite as confident of that this time around, but
I just feel like there's just not really any other choices.
I mean, it's still really, 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 really early on. And the thing about Trump is his shit is becoming a real sideshow.
Mm-hmm.
And I can absolutely see at some point people like Pence and DeSantis being pushed as a moderate version of Trump, where you get all the bigotry, all the hatred, all the things you want out of a leader like Trump, but someone who's just not as much of a loose cannon in their personal life.
Yeah,
and that doesn't, I don't mean that to say Mike Pence has a shot in hell of winning, but that's obviously where this is headed.
Sure, but I just don't think that the majority of the Republican voting base wants that. They don't want someone to be like a straight lace guy.
I don't think anybody knows what those fucking people want.
Yeah.
Anymore.
I guess I kind of know.
No, but do you?
But we thought that about Trump, didn't we? We thought that in 2015 into 2016, most people were like, he's not gonna win, except Adam.
Yeah,
and Adam's like, no. So like, this is an amorphous group that has little integrity other than doing what they can to win. They're not like, you very rarely get a Liz Cheney that has at least some form of integrity to be like, this is bad and a problem, and I will lose my seat if I must, but I will not be a part of this.
Also in the midterms, the most devout Trump types did the worst. Like,
sure,
almost all of those motherfuckers lost.
But against Democrats, mostly.
Right.
But we're talking about a Republican primary here. Like, it's a different animal.
But you have to admit Trump has a little baggage to him. And
absolutely. I totally admit
and to
that.
say
I'm not saying he's baggage free.
But you did say there's like no other choice? That's insane.
There are no other options on the Republican side that have any sort of viability right now. Maybe that could change in the next
Ron
year
DeSantis
or so.
absolutely has viability. He's trailing Trump.
Barely.
But what are you talking about?
As he gets more of a national spotlight, his personal idiosyncrasies are much more off-putting than Trump's. They just are. They're not the kind of thing.
Trump just got convicted of rape in a civil trial.
And people on the right love that.
They tend to like that, to be fair. I will add, though, that like I wouldn't be so expertly confident in what you're saying with these people, Olivia.
I'm not confident more than I am about literally anything else happening right now.
You're coming in pretty confident, and I respect the confidence. But this is not.
Show is.
I'm just gonna. You're like, there is no chance.
I don't think there is. I truly don't think there's a chance.
All right,
that's pretty confident
right
to me because I think there is.
Yeah, we will see on the first November 2024 episode of You Don't Even Like This Show.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. I'm thinking this way, and I'm not going to pretend that I can predict these people, but I have relatives that I visited back home who are like pretty moderate Republicans that have dipped their toes and they fucking love him. They love DeSantis. They loved what he did with sending the refugees to Martha's Vineyard. They thought it was great and hilarious and a wonderful way to they fucking loved it. And like, we do have our bubble of who we talk to, who we see on our social media. Like,
and you remember the wacky sign that used to hang in front of this studio?
I do remember that stupid
building owners.
Sign.
I don't know if I.
But the thing about that sign is that it said Trump DeSantis, which was never going to happen.
Yeah, well, yeah, the sign. I think I've talked about it on podcasts before, but after I rented this studio, like a week after, they put up a sign out front that said Trump DeSantis ticket 2024, and then it had like impeach Joe Biden and all these names.
Yeah.
And I complained about it, and they didn't really do anything, but what was funny is people kept taking that sign and hurling it into the street out in front of the building, like vandals.
That's awesome, because that's a bank, which there's lots of cameras. And
yeah.
Like, I don't fucking care.
And they finally did take the sign down, but I remember one time after it had been taken down and they were putting it back up, I came outside and I was in a really shitty mood, and I like called the guy over. And I was like, Trump and DeSantis hate each other. Like, what does this sign even mean? And he was just like, I don't deal with politics. And it's like, you're putting up the sign. You deal with politics.
Are you sure? Because you've got that sign in your hand, sir.
Yeah.
What a wonderful mind.
Yeah.
To have.
And so, but like, obviously, the MAGA fuck who owns this building is all right with Ron DeSantis.
I think a lot of people on the right are on DeSantis's side on culture war bullshit like that, but I really don't think he's got national juice. I'm probably wrong because I'm a fucking moron. Yep. Like, this is the whole thing, but
here's
in
what
my
I'll say.
heart right now, the way that I feel is that DeSantis doesn't have much of a chance.
If that's the case, it'll be one of the first times in history that Republicans didn't toe the line when it came voting time. The left does not do that. The right tends to do that. They will say, well, I want to win.
Sure.
And so even if this person is not what I want, the left tends to be a little bit more.
Well, and everything about this conversation is way different than who will win 2024.
Yeah.
We're talking about who gets the nomination in general. And at that point, whoever gets the nomination, the Republicans are voting for. I don't think any of us would question that.
And to circle it back to Mike Pence, because this conversation started because I brought up Mike Pence and DeSantis being presented as like a more moderate version of Trump. I honestly think of the three, I would want Mike Pence in office the least. Like,
Because he's a fundamentalist.
yeah, he's a
psychopath.
Yeah,
fundamentalist.
he
Trump
sucks.
and DeSantis pretend to be fundamentalists.
Yeah.
Mike Pence is one.
Trump was the buffer.
A little bit.
That's a tough comment. I don't know if I can even answer who I who I would want to be president the least. That's tough.
I do like the idea that Pence was not allowed to be with women without his wife there.
Yeah.
And Trump only wanted to be with women when his wife wasn't there.
Yeah, that's the thing. Mike Pence would be our quickest route to like some Handmaid's Tale shit breaking out in this country.
Yeah.
Like Trump and DeSantis at least aren't going to pull that. But also, fuck them too, you know?
Yes.
All right. Let's talk about this next candidate. Now this guy's got a real shot. I think this is our clear winner. John Bolton.
His face looks like it belongs on a bottle of sauce.
So is John Bolton, he actually is saying that he's going to run for president?
Yes.
That is one of the most delusional and misguided things I've ever heard in my entire life.
He's probably got a new book coming out.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, he's already a pretty prominent talking head on Fox News, so this has to just be about a book. But didn't he already write a book about Trump?
Time for a sequel.
Yeah, I suppose.
That's why I said he's probably got a new book to promote. Like he's probably like, we're gonna keep this thing going. He looks like if you were like in the 70s asked to draw an old man, that's what you draw.
Yeah. He announced way back in January, which is nuts.
It's weird because he's got that salt and pepper hair that looks like it's colored with pee.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking? Like it's that like it looks like it smells musty.
He looks like he smokes a lot and doesn't shower a lot.
Yeah, I bet his mustache smells amazing.
Oh my God. He looks like an old blanket with a push broom mustache.
That mustache is out of control.
He's awful. He's a disgusting man, a war hawk. Like
it filters Venezuelan poisons. When he drinks, it has to run through the poison stream.
Yeah.
And for people who don't recall, John Bolton was Trump's national security advisor for a bit.
Yeah.
While also holding down the responsibilities of being our nation's mustache in chief.
Yeah.
He's had a long career to his credit. He served under all four of the previous Republican administrations. And that's because Republicans have been united in the course they're going to take to destroy the world since like the mid-90s, at least, when the Project for a New America came out.
Yeah.
John Bolton worked for oil companies too, right? That was like his big thing.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I've not heard that. I just know his.
I think you might be thinking of Trump's first Secretary of State was an oil executive, and they eventually had a falling out. But I don't remember that fuckface's name.
I just remember Bolton's bloodthirst during the W administration. He was such a hawk, just constantly trying to get us into wars with more Middle Eastern countries.
He looks like evil Mark Twain.
Yeah, it's like it's like a Mark Twain impersonator from "And I Think You Should Leave" sketch.
Yeah.
Mark Twain.
He and Trump had a falling out, and a lot of people are convinced that's why he has no chance of winning, but I think that has nothing to do with it.
Oh yeah,
he just has no chance of winning in general.
He's a behind the scenes guy.
Yeah.
He is not a public facing dude.
John Bolton.
And he's too old. His personality is trash.
Yeah.
It would be like electing Clint Eastwood, but if Clint Eastwood was like a school janitor his whole life and just had, no personality, no pizzazz, no panache, nothing.
put some sawdust on this vomit.
And like, he's cantankerous as fuck. I feel like the MAGA types.
He's a codger.
Yeah.
Yes.
The MAGA types don't like him, and neither do just regular ass Republicans, I think.
I mean, I think they probably like him when he is serving his function as to, feed the land with blood. Other than that, they don't really care about him at all.
And he's one of the people on this list who, if we were living in a version of the world where guns were held to our collective heads and we were forced to vote in an election where Trump was running against John Bolton, I would vote for Trump.
Like, if I had to vote, I wasn't allowed to just not vote.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, sure.
And well, I have I have a good reason for saying that, and it's because John Bolton was like one of the architects of our foreign policy that just destroyed the Middle East.
I've hated John Bolton for like 20 years. I don't give a shit.
He is such a representative of the American war machine. And I honestly believe the falling out between him and Trump happened because Trump didn't want war with Iran. And John Bolton clearly did.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, I don't want to go to war with Iran either.
No.
I want to go to war with John Bolton.
Yeah, and that's the thing, John Bolton wants to go to war with Iran. And he's just too much. He's such a war hawk, and that's gross. I hate that.
What a cool name for such a shitty thing to be.
I know.
War hawk?
Yeah. Why can't the war hawks be the anti-war types?
Right?
Like we're always hawking on the people, trying to make war with all our petty grievances.
War hawk a loogie on them.
No, we just get pigeons. Doves.
I love that we're getting pop-ups.
Damn right.
In the midst of
you don't even
all
like this pop-up.
Oh my God. All right. Now I lost my cursor. Here we go. All right. So these next two candidates, I think, fall under the category of running for VP, which, yes, that is a term that has been used to kind of marginalize women candidates and people of color. And we are about to talk about a woman and a person of color.
Look, it's the GOP. That's just how it goes.
Yeah. But also, I feel like these two, if they were vice presidential picks, they do both have kind of the potential to change the Republican Party a little bit, at least in terms of demographics. But beyond that, like policies, no. But first, let's talk about Kristi Noem.
A tragic smoke show.
Yeah. She started her run in politics when I still lived in South Dakota, and she somehow looks better now.
She's fine as hell, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what she looks like.
There is one of the articles we linked to, she's signing like the most hate-riddled bill, and she looks so amazing.
Yeah. That's the Republican Party has a collection of just, I call them tragic smoke shows. and it's just, I see them and I'm like, God, I hate how fucking hot you are. It's infuriating.
I guess. Looks like she's gotten a lot of work.
Yeah, I'll give her a little more.
Hey-o.
Hey, Jeff, what do you mean?
I would have sex with her.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Maybe I could. Hey, you got a little lefty in you?
Oh, just a little.
Look, she's hot. Like, we shouldn't pretend like Lauren Boebert. She's hot. Like, why are we pretending she's not? Why do people say she's not? She's a smoke show. Kristi Noem's a fucking smoke show. Like, she's just super hot.
I don't know. Maybe maybe my judgment's clouded.
Yeah, well, they're hideous, ugly inside people.
Sure.
I'm not saying,
I'm not talking about inside. I'm talking about outside.
I wouldn't want to go on a nice romantic weekend to Lake Tahoe, but I would do some weird Vegas shit with them.
maybe that iced up type is just not my thing.
Yeah.
I like a sexy villain.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
She hasn't even announced yet that she's running, but the speculation seems to be that she will. I don't think she has a high enough national profile to win, but she is, for all intents and purposes, the female Ron DeSantis.
Mm-hmm.
And those
sexy.
those two as a team, I think, could be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
She's every bit as militant about COVID measures as he is, for one thing. There are even people we'll talk about later who accuse Ron DeSantis of stealing all of his really hardline COVID ideas from Kristi Noem, who did, like, really early on just eliminated mask mandates in South Dakota.
Which, to be fair, there's 80 people in South Dakota.
That's the thing. There's like one of the articles I brought up mentioned that South Dakota as a state has, I think they have close to 1 million people now. I think it was under 1 million when I lived there. And that wouldn't even put them in like the top 40 biggest counties in the United States. So, yeah, when your state is as spread out as it is, I think you can ditch the mask mandates a little more safely. But who knows? Who fucking cares? Yeah. I mean, I have family there. I care, but that's fine. She's also super duper against teaching diversity related things in school.
Shocker.
On the grounds that, and this is a quote, students have been taught the importance of diversity and equity and given access to safe places instead of learning to tolerate the disagreement, discomfort, and dissent that they will experience in the real world. End quote. Imagine having the fucking balls to issue a statement like that, knowing that everyone in their right mind will hear that and go, but that's what you're doing right now. You don't want to hear criticism of your viewpoint, so you're just like banishing it.
Not to mention, it's this right-wing thing right now of just putting as much stink on the words love and equality as you possibly can to make it sound like they're not perfectly reasonable and good things to teach children.
Yeah. I
mean, love is a pretty weak word to use. I'd put some stink on it too.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
She's also every bit as, you're not going to believe this, anti-trans as Ron DeSantis.
No.
What? No, yeah. She's already signed, just this year, she signed a bill that bans all manner of gender-affirming treatment for minors in the state, anyone under the age of 18.
Yeah, for now.
And that was hot on the heels of signing a bill banning transgender girls and college-age women from playing in school sports leagues that match their gender identity. Which
is that's the real important issue that everybody wants to talk about.
Yeah, because I mean, I think we've all seen this wave of transgender athletes just dominating.
It's taken up. We're taking over. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I love that the example they bring up the most. I think it's Leah Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Leah Thompson.
Right.
And how
Back
she's
to the Future.
Great in Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Talk about the smoke show.
Yeah.
And the match, like the girl who is most vocal about transgender athletes, especially in swimming, is where it's been the biggest thing. I think those two tied for fourth in the match that got this girl all fucking hot and bothered. And it's like, if they're finishing fourth, this isn't a problem.
It's almost never I would have won if it weren't for the trans person who won. It's always, I would have come in third if it wasn't for this trans person. It's like, well, okay, it sounds like there's still a couple of cis women who are perfectly capable, but like, as with all this stuff, logic doesn't matter. These fucking people, I'm so sick of trying to fucking logic with them about this.
Yeah.
Well, it's weird because they think they're logicking you. So it's like that's the real judo of the whole thing.
Exactly. It's been the Republican judo for the last fucking 15 years, and it's exhausting.
And I double checked because I was like, maybe I had like bedroom eyes or something. I double checked. No, you're wrong. She's a smoke show, Olivia.
No. She is a frigid bitch. She looks like
she is a frigid bitch.
She looks like total shit.
Fucking smoke show.
Looks like she's had her face cut up more times than fucking, I don't know, Pinhead.
I drink from a plastic cup. That's fine by me.
Listeners in the Q&A section, Christy Gnome, yay or nay?
Yeah. Would you bang the evil South Dakota lady?
Yeah.
Oh.
The answer is yes.
No.
Ooh, and she's like just enough older than me that makes it like extra hot,
Oh, wait, no, I wouldn't have sex with her. That's like asking someone, would you fuck Trump?
I mean,
no, it is not.
She has got to be drier than parchment paper. Are you kidding me? Like, God.
She might be a freak.
Oh, man. This took a turn. But hey, it's Christy Gnome's fault.
I'm going to bring it on a turn. You don't bring me on here for my scathing political opinions here.
Yes, I do, Jeff.
You bring me on here because I get a boner when I see an evil lady.
Yeah, so she's definitely the grotesque goddamn future of the Republican Party. But I don't think she's going to be president in 2024. I could absolutely see her being someone's vice president choice.
Sure.
And
if you are that guy, you don't take a look at that record and maybe be like, oh, I don't know that this is good for me to do.
Yeah, I would wonder, though, if it's so much that no one has wanted to be a black senator as much as it is you don't get a lot of opportunities for that kind of thing within the Republican Party.
Oh, sure. I'm not saying no one has wanted it. I'm saying the people who won it maybe should reconsider.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously a difficult road. Yeah, there have only been, I think, 11 black senators total in history, which is insane.
It is.
That is insane.
We made one a president.
We did.
Yeah.
That's true. Astute observation.
Like 10%. I'd want to be a black senator then. That's huge odds.
That's true. That is true.
You know what? That's what I'm going to go for.
Yeah. Black senator.
I'm going to be the 12th black senator.
Like Soul Man.
Rachel Dolezal of the Senate.
Yeah.
No, the C. Thomas Howell. Remember that not at all problematic movie? 1986's Soul Man? I wonder if you can even watch that anymore. Or if it's just locked in a vault somewhere.
What? I don't know.
All right. So back to Tim Scott. He is he's got pretty good stage presence. He's got that going for him. He, at least according to NPR, has a slightly more optimistic outlook than Trump or DeSantis, which that's such a low bar.
I don't even really understand what an optimistic outlook means for a conservative movement.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess optimistic means he was a black guy that think he could win a Republican ticket, and he did.
Yeah.
It's pretty optimistic.
That's true. He has a backstory that resonates with conservatives. This is a quote. Growing up in a single-parent household mired in poverty, the challenges that I faced from self-esteem to low grades were monumental. I overcame those challenges with grit, hard work, and inspiration. End quote. So he's definitely a pull yourself up from your bootstraps type.
Yes.
He's a bootstrapper.
Who does not think the government is here to help. It's here to
Gotta love that.
Here
Gotta
to-
love the one person that does something like that. And they were like, well, I won the lottery.
yeah.
Why don't you try to do that?
But also he listens to Word Up by Cameo to get fired up for things, and that's fun.
I do relate to him now.
Yeah.
I listen to Word Up by Korn to get pumped up for things.
By Cornmeal.
By Cornmeal, yeah, exactly.
Their cover was not terrible.
It's a pretty good song.
Also, have you heard Korn's cover of The Devil Went Down to Georgia?
Yes.
It
Yeah.
rips. It's so fucking good. And yeah, I mentioned earlier the term running for VP is sometimes used in a demeaning way, specifically in cases like Tim Scott, where it's like, okay, but you'll never be president.
Right.
But Tim Scott seems different. Like, he's not Herman Cain.
No.
He's not Ben Carson. Like, he's not like,
He looks much more streamlined.
well, he's a actual politician.
Darn.
He didn't like own a chain of
Pizza chain.
Godfather's restaurants, or he wasn't a brain surgeon, which only Ben Carson can make being a brain surgeon sound bad.
Like something a moron could
Yeah,
do.
like we got this fucking brain surgeon in here trying to make decisions about the country. No, thank you.
Talk about like a Forrest Gump level of concentration that you must have to be a brain surgeon and also be that dumb.
It's nuts.
Just picture him
Nuts.
field stripping an M16.
Right. And
My God, Carson, I've never seen that. That's a company record.
it is demeaning to talk about someone running for vice president or whatever, but it's okay to be demeaning because these are Republicans, so fuck them.
Yeah, fuck this guy.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're not, even though he might have a slightly more pleasant persona, and they say he does have a knack for at least talking civil-like with the other side,
Sure.
he's still a Republican.
Yeah.
Like, there's this documentary on Hulu right now about Hillsong Church, which was this huge mega church, and eventually there were all these sex scandals and things.
What?
At a church?
I know. Can you believe it? And they're interviewing all these members who were like trying to get more women in leadership roles and trying to get more black people in leadership roles and trying to be more progressive. And that's the word, progressive, because then the filmmakers would be like, oh, what about gay people? How does your church feel about that? And they're just like, oh, well, that's just a thing you have to accept when you go to church, that they're going to hate the gays. And it's like, that's not progressive. It's not,
Yeah.
not super progressive at all.
I guess progressive if you're a bigot.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
they don't just stand up at the pulpit and go, yucky, ew.
And Tim Scott is that. Like, he's not going to go to bat for your progressive social issues in most cases. He has a quote out there, race is not a political weapon to settle every issue the way one side wants. And another quote, America is not a racist country. He also served as state co-chair for Strom Thurmond's final Senate campaign in 1996.
Ugh, that's like seeing fucking Michael Jordan play for the Wizards.
I can't imagine doing that.
And it's
working for Strom Thurmond.
And it's interesting. His argument is, well, Strom Thurmond changed at the end and he became more progressive, which
You'd have to.
yeah.
If you're Strom Thurmond, you can't get worse
But
than what you were.
that's also the case with like George Wallace. Like
Sure.
George Wallace won his last campaign with a huge portion of the black vote. But I know that because of a Drive By Truckers song that told me that. And they also point out that despite that, George Wallace is in hell now.
Yes.
Because you don't get to run one campaign where you're like, all right, I get it. Black people are fine.
Yeah.
And then that excuses your decades of just ruthlessly suppressing civil rights.
How do you feel about Byrd?
Larry Byrd?
Yeah, Larry Byrd. No, Senator Byrd. Remember? Because he was like, that's a big thing where people love to show the photo of him and Hillary. And they're like, he was in the KKK, you know. And he made a massive switch in a big way and like repented during his entire career. And pushed that.
The Democratic Party made a dramatic switch.
The Southern switch was a Southern strategy, big deal.
Yeah, I don't have strong feelings about any senator, literally from history.
I just know that I just couldn't see myself going to work for Ron DeSantis. So I don't know how you go and work for Strom Thurmond.
If Ron DeSantis gets the nomination, it would be so funny if Disney just allowed the Democratic Party to use all of their characters in their promotional stuff.
Yeah.
They'd be like, do you want Iron Man to bring you up at the DNC? Well, you can use Iron Man.
Yeah, we still have a couple of movies left over on RDJ's contract, so if we could just call him in.
Yeah, we have a contract left with Luke Skywalker. If you guys want a Luke Skywalker,
unfortunately, it's not Mark Hamill. It's like that fake Luke Skywalker from the Disney Plus.
But he did also join his mentor, former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley, in calling for the removal of the Confederate flag outside the South Carolina State House.
Wow.
Which, not only that, but they decided to do that after the Mother Emanuel church shooting, which wasn't that long ago.
No.
And it's like, I mean, no rush, I guess. Like, it only takes a tragedy of that magnitude for you to be like, all right, I guess.
Yeah.
He did wear a Skinner shirt while he pulled it down, though, so it's a mixed situation.
It's just so progressive of them to tear down a traitor's rag 150 years after they fucking lost.
About heritage, Olivia, not hate.
Yeah. My heritage is hate for the Confederacy.
All right. Now let's finish by talking about a couple of candidates who are running for real. Like they're either gonna win or they're gonna drop. I don't think either of these two are gonna be anyone's vice president, except maybe Nikki Haley. We just mentioned
she's been good. That name was interesting when it came out because I was like, that was the UN ambassador.
Yeah,
she was the one that was like giving stern warnings to the UN, and the UN's like, "The fuck did you just say?"
Well,
but she also had a big falling out with Trump, so
she didn't have a huge falling out. Like they're not great friends, but she's not super critical of Trump the way a lot of his former staffers are. I think their main falling out is that she announced she's running for president.
Right.
And Trump had already announced by then. She announced really early. She announced on Valentine's Day. Aww.
I also didn't realize she was Indian American.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
She is.
Yeah, she had real white lady energy to her. That's why.
Yeah, no, she's Indian American. She served in the Trump administration and doesn't criticize him that much, so the MAGA types don't want to eat her, at least. She's got a little bit less abrasive of a personality than Trump or DeSantis, but she can be firm when she needs to. Like Jeff said, she did scold the UN a few times for not doing whatever the fuck Trump needed them to do.
He's like, you wouldn't even let me bring my gun into this chamber.
But she's also not super well known nationally.
Yeah.
And
which is weird because she was the UN ambassador. That's such a huge job.
Yeah.
It is, but I mean, John Bolton was UN ambassador, and I just don't think that people really care about that position that much.
It's just such a, let me rephrase. It's such a front-facing job.
Sure, yeah.
Where it's like she was in the news more I will say she was in the news than most United States ambassadors didn't
Well,
win.
I mean, because everything about the Trump administration had more news coverage than.
We'll put it this way: if someone as dumb as me is familiar with her,
Sure.
then other people are going to know.
Yeah,
and I am dumb,
but I do think she has the same problems as John Bolton. Like, I don't think enough people see her as a leader.
Yeah, and like Jeff said, that huge mustache she's rocking.
Oh, she does have a giant push broom.
Yeah, kind of hot too. Not gonna lie.
Oh, now I know what you're into.
She also, almost immediately upon announcing her candidacy, suggested that getting rid of Social Security, Medicaid, and Medicare might all be cool and chill things that we should look into.
Those are such loser positions for Republican national campaigns. Their whole base relies on Social Security. So it seems like a mistake to threaten that.
And
keep your hands off my Medicare.
Yeah.
And I don't know if either of you remember, because now I'm blanking on when exactly it happened, but there was I think it was Joe Biden's like State of the Union address or something where he brought up that the other side wants to get rid of Medicare. Mm-hmm. And Republicans started fucking howling because he was referencing this like one fringe dude who like suggested it in like kind of an offhand way, and Republicans were like, no, we're probably not going to do that.
Yeah.
And then Joe Biden like painted it like, this is what Republicans want. So I think that might actually be a thing that would derail Nikki Haley's
I think so too.
campaign.
Which is funny because it's definitely a thing that I would say in their heart of hearts, especially like most Republican politicians would love to dismantle Social Security. I think they just know that they can't say that because people will get justifiably mad at them.
Yeah, they do want to steal from poor people. That's
yeah,
we
right,
all agree.
right.
Of course.
Just not so blatantly that it can't go on forever.
Right.
Yeah.
She also
you take a nickel, not the whole dollar.
She also might be a little too accepting of immigrants, seeing as how she is the daughter of immigrant parents.
Yeah.
And she has made some statements in the past that suggest she might be a little softer on immigration than your average Republican. So she's probably too woke for Republicans.
Oh, absolutely.
Is what I'm saying.
Well, she's inherently too woke because she is a woman.
Right, right.
And so that's just going to wokeify you out of the running.
I mean, to be fair, I think the most anti-woke person out there is Marjorie Taylor Greene. Although I wouldn't I'd classify her as just a monster in general.
I would say she's stridently anti-woke, but if she ran for a national office like a president, or I think that would be levied against her by Republicans, that she's too woke. Even though she's obviously not.
Too much of an absolutely unhinged maniac would be the thing that they would go for.
No, but they like that.
And she did, though, also sign some really harsh immigration bills into law when she was governor of South Carolina, including one that requires law enforcement to call federal authorities if they suspect someone is in the country illegally. So that sucks. And yes. she buckled to the woke mob and took the Confederate flag down outside South Carolina State House too. So
coward.
Yeah. Probably just way too much of a liberal cuck.
Yeah.
For the Republican establishment. But then there's this last guy that I want to talk about. Vivek Ramaswamy.
Yeah.
Here's a problem with diversity in Republican politics. It rarely leads to diversity in political views.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
It's fucking jerk off.
It's just a person of color saying the same hateful nationalist shit
Yep.
that their white counterparts are. And this guy is a shining example of that.
You know, I admire anyone's confidence that someone named Vivek Ramaswamy would ever become a Republican presidential candidate. That's confidence that I'll never have.
Yeah, you definitely get into the racial aspect of it in that regard, where like that last name sounds like what Republicans would make up as a fake last name for an Indian person.
A little bit,
Sure.
yeah. But, I mean, him being of Indian descent isn't nothing when it comes to politics, because one of the really underreported aspects of India right now and over the past few years is it is a highly nationalist place and violently nationalist.
Yes.
It's just that instead of Christian nationalists, they're Hindu nationalists.
RRR, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
so it shouldn't surprise anyone that this guy is running as an open nationalist.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to remind you that isn't that why Gandhi was killed? Was because of a Hindu nationalist bodyguard?
I don't know. I like that you were like, I'd like to remind you, and then asked us a
Yeah,
question.
fair enough.
I don't know. I don't know that.
But yeah, this guy, he sat down with, was it Politico? What did I link to here? Yeah. Sat down with Politico in a thing he knew he was being filmed and recorded for, and said that you could call him a non-white nationalist.
Cool.
And he followed that up by saying, why do I call myself an American nationalist? I am proud of that. I will not apologize for it, and I want to revive that. So this guy's just a nationalist who probably has recognized how effective nationalist politics have been where his parents are from.
Sure. And where he's from.
Yeah.
Nationalism on the right is very popular.
Right.
Also, I checked and I was correct. That is why Gandhi was killed. It was because he was too nice to Pakistan. And they...
Jeff, I'd like to remind you that that's why Gandhi's bodyguard was killed. Nope, I said that wrong.
Yeah, wow.
That's why Gandhi was killed.
Nailed it.
Bodyguard, yeah.
We just blew this whole bit. Leave it in. Leave it in. It's a new era. No more outtakes.
Yes.
No editing.
Yeah. Oh. So this guy is, I guess, what you would call a pharmaceutical bro.
Cool.
Yeah, he started a company called Roivant Sciences in 2014. Since 2020, he's spoken out against critical race theory, big tech censorship, stakeholder theory, which I wasn't even familiar with, but that's basically just saying, hey, corporations should like take care of the people that help them survive, which actually did used to be a thing. And we gutted that in this country.
This guy's just a huge piece of shit.
Yeah, he's a big problem.
It's funny how Republican politics have just totally swerved away from talking about issues that actually affect people, you know, like economy and the infrastructure, all of these things. And they know that they can't talk about it because their policies have destroyed those things.
Yeah. He currently runs a company called Strive Asset Management, which is an investment firm that opposed the Environmental, Social, and Corporate Governance Framework, ESG, which is kind of the same thing as stakeholder theory. It's just the idea that corporations, given the massive amount of power they have, should operate a little more ethically on the world stage. And this guy's like, no, they shouldn't.
Absolutely not.
Should get to ravage this planet. Are you crazy? And what's crazy is how many poor people will vote for someone like this.
Yeah,
Like-
a lot. Like, well, it's, it's what Steinbeck says. Everyone views themselves as a temporarily embarrassed millionaire,
Yeah.
you know?
He
No, go ahead.
So he's basically one of those get rich and make sure a lot of people die while you're trying types. He's written books with titles like Woke Incorporated and Nation of Victims.
Oh, God.
So boring.
I want
Yeah.
to mug him. I want to make him a victim.
All these fucking people talk about the same bullshit. It's so boring.
I want to give him a suplex.
He also calls affirmative action, quote, the single biggest form of institutionalized racism in America today. I think just our general institutionalized racism is the biggest form of institutionalized racism.
Yeah, well, this dude fucking sucks.
It's a
So
whole industry.
he got his bachelor's at Harvard and his, I believe, his Juris Doctorate at Yale.
Yeah,
Cool.
cool.
Good for him.
Wow.
I'm glad.
I wonder
Wow,
what.
Yeah, you can really speak to the people.
I'm just like, we talked earlier about people who are running for like a book deal, and it feels like this guy's running for a Substack. Like there's just nothing behind him.
Oh, he looks like such a huge piece of shit on his website too. Have you seen his website? His vivek2024.com?
No.
It just says
No.
truth. And he's standing with his arms folded, looking like defiantly to the side. And I just wish there was like a truck behind him about to hit him.
Well, eventually, the truck comes for us all.
Oh, yeah, he looks like an asshole.
He looks like such a piece of shit. So his 25 policy commitments to take America first further than Trump. In case you're wondering what he's pushing, national identity. It's just fucking dismantle managerial bureaucracy.
Cool. Good.
This guy's-
Everybody
this guy
was so worried
fucking-
about that.
Declare independence from communist China. That's not happening, buddy. That is absolutely not happening. You tell everybody that they're going to have to pay $1,500 for their next iPhone, and you see how that goes.
Yeah, what does that even mean in like reality? I don't even understand what you would do to do
I mean,
that.
I think he would seize the property that they own here. I think
Sure,
that's-
and then what?
And then we get nuked.
Okay,
Probably.
I will tell you exactly what it is. You ready? Because he goes, he wants to hold the CCP accountable for COVID-19, use all financial levers, achieve semiconductor independence, secure our modern way of life, stop CCP affiliates from buying American land. See, that's the thing that they always just.
That's a big Republican talking point
But
right
these
now.
These are all you just listed 6 first steps.
Yeah,
Like,
use our military to annihilate Mexican drug cartels, defend against the CCP's opium war, ban U.S.
Wait, what?
businesses from expanding in China until the CCP stops cheating.
this is
Now-
just detached from reality.
The funny part about the land is that is the most anti-Republican thing you can do is say, stop landowners from selling their land for the highest profit.
yeah.
Well, even their whole campaign against Huawei is the same thing. Like
Sure.
No
that's people in like rural areas wanting to take advantage of cheaper infrastructure, and the government's like, nope, can't do it.
Not on my watch.
Yeah. So he also supports abolishing the Department of Education, the FBI, and the IRS, and that's only like 2/3 correct.
He also wants to eliminate federal employee unions.
Yes, of
Oh,
course.
cool.
Of course.
He wants to end pro-lazy remote work option.
He also wants to raise the voting age to 25 for anyone except military, first responders, or those who pass a civics test. That will definitely not be biased toward white supremacy at all.
No, totally.
He says
Yeah.
American nationalist identity will be his campaign's defining policy. And
I think he is really overestimating how many people like passionately care about that shit.
yes. He also announced his candidacy on an episode of Tucker Carlson tonight because, of course, he did.
PCT, baby.
Oh, R.I.P. Tucker Carlson tonight.
Yeah.
He's got Beavis and Butthead hair. which is very funny to me too.
Wait, which one? Beavis or Butthead?
Beavis.
Okay.
But it's black.
Sure.
And in 2016, Forbes estimated his net worth at $600 million. So he's a real man of the people type, this one.
Absolutely.
He's like, I know I'm just a rural voter in Kentucky, but I really like the down-homeness of this 600 millionaire that went to Harvard and Yale in liberal New England.
Jeez.
Yeah, this
He
guy
speaks to me.
sucks. This guy sucks. And
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to be on the fringes for a long time because he's got enough money to just
You know,
be that
he's
kind
gonna-
of pest.
He's got
Yeah.
an unhinged smile. Like
he's
his smile looks like every photo of him smiling looks like he just got asked to take a photo ID. And he's like,
He's just gonna take the path of every right-wing grifter. It's a well-trod path, and he has begun his first beautiful steps down it.
I will say Ramaswamy is a cool ass name though.
It's a good name. He's got a good name. It's too bad that he is dragging it through the dirt.
Yeah.
Christy Gnome of names. I don't like what you stand for, but I like your look.
Yeah, I hate this guy. I hate him
Yep.
so much.
Me too.
And I hope all his dreams go down in flames.
Me too.
That's
And you know what else I hope goes down in flames?
Oh no! And Olivia just reads off his address. God damn it, Olivia!
We can't do that anymore.
No, I'm just quoting. I think you should leave. I
Okay.
hope he dies. I'm
That's
talking
okay.
about
You
it's a
can
quote in
say-
the show.
That's not a crime. I'm not inspiring that somebody kill this guy. I don't want anybody to do that, but like,
Look, death
I
comes
can
for us
hope
all.
for something. I love when you say that and people are like, why would you put that out there? I'm like, because I hope it happens. I don't know. Why would you do that?
It would make the world better.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know
Anyway.
why we have to. When people are like, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I'm like, get better enemies then, Howard. Your enemies are weak as shit if you wouldn't wish that on them.
Yeah, I definitely
had
have.
COVID. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I've wished it on people that cut me off in traffic. So my worst enemies get way better wishes.
So I think that's our episode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did it. We made it to the end of the first episode of You Don't Even Like This Show. Thank you, everyone, for still listening, even though we changed our name. We've gotten a surprising lack of, like, oh, that it's not called Unpopular Opinion anymore makes me sick to my stomach.
Oh.
Like, I'm glad we
It's like,
didn't get
are you
any.
not reading my texts?
Well, that was like when the Staples Center changed its name.
Yeah.
There were people tweeting like, oh, just sick to my stomach that it's not called Staples Center anymore. It's like, get a life. You are not sick to your stomach, you idiot.
Let's maintain the integrity of Office Depot giant fucking Staples. I guess I shouldn't have used Office Depot in that case, 'cause
And-
that's a different store.
And there's nothing to stop you in your personal life from continuing to call the show Unpopular Opinion.
That's
Just
right.
like I still call our local music venue in Indianapolis Deer Creek instead of Ruoff, which it got changed to.
Well, Ruoff
DC
is an objectively bad name.
Awful.
The DCU Center in Worcester used to be called the Centrum, and that's like a way cooler name.
Ugh,
Mm.
that is a good name.
The Centrum Center. Or what used to be called Great Woods, then it was the Tweeta Center, and now it's probably, I don't know, some fucking TD Bank North Crypto.org.
Yeah,
Fucking
who knows?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you both. What do we have to plug before we get out of here? There's still more changes coming to the network, mostly just new subscription options. I think there's going to be a lifetime subscription option. And we are also going to be selling some new shirts. And we're going to be selling a hard drive, the Unpopular Opinion Vault, with all of the recordings that we have available to us from up to this point in history, which there's a shockingly low number of missing episodes. Like, the first 28 episodes of Unpopular Opinion I can't find, which is fine. They sucked. And there's like 8 episodes of What in the World that I can't find. And beyond that, I found everything. And we're going to put that shit on a big-ass hard drive and sell it to you. It's got
ass hard drive.
It's got the old Unpops logo engraved into it. Very cool. So that will be a thing that will be available soon. And also, I finally figured out how to make these live stream links available to Supercast subscribers. So I hope some of you joined us on this episode and that you join us more in the future. And that's it. There's so much to talk about, but that's it. My mouth doesn't hurt as much as it used to. Olivia, do you have anything to plug?
You can find me on Twitter at Haidar, if you want, I guess. And you can...
A ringing endorsement.
All right. It's fine. That site is dying, and that's kind of entertaining. And we've got our Lost Rewatch podcast going back.
Yeah.
Which is currently a From Rewatch podcast at the moment. And you can listen to that.
Oh yeah, follow me on Blue Sky also. If you're on Blue Sky,
wow.
not to brag, but
wait, you got an invite? You got any invites?
I got an invite from my friend Aiko in Seattle.
But do you have any invites?
I think I have one now.
I dibsed out. Sorry. Yeah. Hey there before hi there.
Fuck.
It's alphabetical. I'm sorry, Olivia.
Fuck.
That's all sorry. Jeff, what do you got to plug?
For me, I mean, you follow me at Hey There Jeffro on all social media, including YouTube. And I know if you are a fan of You Don't Even Like Sports Cards with Adam Todd Brown, I do a non-sports card opening show called I Must Break You.
Edit that out, Brett.
No, don't. It's really fun. And I need people to watch my YouTube too, so I can fucking monetize, so I can make money doing this.
What?
Anyway,
money doing this.
I gotta figure out how to make money at this.
I need the money. Oh. No, I have Jeff has cool friends you can get for free everywhere, but you can get early access to uncensored episodes with bonus content at patreon.com/JeffMay, where you can get other shows like Ugh Fine, the monthly show with Kim Crawl, as well as Nerd with Dre Alvarez, who that's available for free everywhere, who also gifted us a pretty cool present that Adam and I are going to open on You Don't Even Like Sports Cards. So you're going to want to check that. A pretty banging wish list gift that we got.
Yeah.
Very excited about that. Yeah. Tom and Jeff watch Batman, Gamefully Unemployed. See me live at Blast from the Past. Mint on Card is the second Friday of every month. Next show, 6/9.
Very nice.
I covered it all right.
I think you did. All right. We should get out of here. Olivia, say goodbye.
Bye.
Jeff, say goodbye.
You get the You Don't Even Like This Show rookie card, ladies and gentlemen.
Goodbye, everybody. We love you.
Actual gem in 10.
That was good. Thank you.